Show for it.
You ran into a brick wall, baby.
A 2-yard pickup makes it
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Mariota gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A. On 1st down, this is Adams. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And they're going to go for it here on the 4th down try. Mariota's going to stay out there. Mariota to throw for it on 4th. And that is going to be incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas. Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
Result of the play is a turnover on downs.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So we got man. Hey. 53 is the mic. Hey, let's get this. Mike, 53.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Hey, 250. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Keep it up, defense.
From the gun on third down, Stanford. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Rams have got it back. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads, and you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
They have 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number 1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do.
Check. Watch 54.
On 2nd and 15 now. Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rowe. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
On first down, Carr. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr, he's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. Well, my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. It's complete. James White. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now on 2nd and 13, Stafford. That's complete to Butler. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now here's Goodwin with it on the jet sweep. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Now Stafford. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Let's go.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That second down play nets a -4.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A 3rd down gain of 19.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
Bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 2nd and 12, Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? It's certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Stafford now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Going deep for Diggs, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he's able to find Diggs. 16 yards is the pickup there at a first down for L.A.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. It's complete to Diggs. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Carr now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Open man, Butler complete. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
That's it! 260! Mike, number 53! Mike, 53! Check back.
They'll run on 1st down. Stanford, and he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
You must be dreaming. Drill right, 22.
The final shot before the break, Stanford. That's complete to his speedy wideout, Goodwin. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. The 40, the 20, 10, touchdown LA! Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown on the season, and the Rams tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Carr. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stanford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
I'm coming after you.
Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
On 1st down, Stanford, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Denzel Perryman came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Stafford. This is intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. There he goes right side. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And
for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Carr now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On the ground, right side, it's Adams. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Push him back. Push him back. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
White. 6-18.
On 2nd and 9. Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Down. Blue 80.
56 is the mic.
I'm trying to collect.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Got his man, that's Harry. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Adams. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
We want it. Come to my
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
one of our
she's
guys.
singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The offense on 3rd down tonight, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 4. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Jordan Jenkins able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Now a fair catch called for and taken here, and that'll set up his guys in great field position.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, we're good, we're good. 185.
Hatchet. Out.
That's it.
Now Adams. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, here's Adams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The Rams on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. Now Carr. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 16. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Stafford. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the 2nd level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well-coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. But now it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Stafford looks to throw again. Deep ball for Goodwin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Down. 280.
56. Check 56. We didn't want this.
On 1st down, it's Adams. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now here's another interception. Trey Flowers picks it, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
On second down now, Stanford. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd down. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Give him 3 yards there, as that'll take us to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. From the red zone now, Stafford. Screen play, Johnson. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Get him, boy. Get him.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for L.A., it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer.